Hey folks, we are going to continue work on the martial powers system today. So give me a second here to check my signal. I'll go through my intro spiel here, and then we'll get to work for a couple hours. If you're watching this in the future after we finish live streaming, you can skip forward like a minute to get through my intro. But if this is your first time here, it sounds like the signal is coming through very loud and clear. Let's bring that should be fine. All right. But hey, if this is your first time here, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and then publish them online. I've been focusing my attention on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition for the past 5 years. I have published a slew of work on DMsGuild.com over the past 5 years. And there are a slew of links in the description down below that lead you to various books that I've published online. So they all have extensive free previews for folks that are normally here to see artwork that I do in the morning and in the evenings. There's about 150 different illustrations across the books that are linked down below. You can just click on the full preview button if you're on a desktop, or if you are on a mobile phone, there'll be an eye icon on the right-hand side of the screen that you can instead click. Either case, it'll pop open a PDF for you to check out the artwork. If you're here for 5th edition game mechanics and design work, I run campaigns as a DM from level 1 to 20 in about 200 to 250 hours. So if the tools that I build are for the campaigns that I want to run, or that I have ran, and that these things I'm building help create the type of campaign and options for characters I want in the game. So check out the free previews. If you think this stuff is cool, consider making some purchases to help further shenanigans like this in the future. These are all a slew of books I've created. The Pacts and Patrons of the Pacts and Patrons of Ravnica are unique Warlock patrons for all the guilds in the Ravnica setting, and there's a ton of new invocations and pact boons. Theurgy ability check casting allows you to exchange time and ability check DCs for spell casting. The color mana spell point variant rule bundle is everything that you need to be doing spell casting with color magic. And we're currently building on Monday through Friday in the morning. We're still doing the artwork for the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration book. And once that's done, that'll also be on the DM's Guild for you guys to look at the free preview as well. And all these things, they come with assets, like additional assets, tokens, playmats, maps, whatever it is that you need to be able to make these things happen. We provide those resources for people that buy them. So you get a zip folder along with the PDF of the actual book itself with additional utilities for people to use. So let's see. So also, I've just posted I'm live on Twitter. So if you want to get notifications of when I'm live in the future, you can follow me on Twitter at Phil Kearney. Also post artwork and other look-sees on stuff occasionally here, so you can see some of the stuff that I've done in the past if you want. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications of when I'm live in the future for additional game design or artwork or cartography, depending on whatever it is that we're doing. We're striving to get to 500 subscribers. That's my first major goal for the channel. So thanks for your help in reaching those goals. If you find this stuff interesting, thanks a lot. Speaking of interesting, if you go down here into the description here, you'll see playtest comments and early looks on my Patreon. You don't have to be a patron member to access this stuff, but anyone, like, you can look at the very alpha rough version of the In Commands of Guilds and Kingdoms systems. Here's a big 30-some-odd% discount off of the color mana system if you're interested in this stuff. Here's an essay on megacities and point crawls within an urban environment. We're doing a color comparison of the Eldraine Monsters Compendium Volume 4 that was released on D&D Beyond. An essay about the 4 tiers of play. And here's the playtest content. If you click on this YouTube stream, it'll take you right here, right now. Hey, guys. But otherwise, this Martial Powers button here, if you click on that, it'll take you to the Martial Powers playtest content Google Doc that I have. For you, it's read-only. But it's the same Google Doc that we use over here that we do developments on each week that we're here. So it's a 79-page document currently with all the different archetypes, all the powers, all the monster mechanics, all of the magic item development mechanics, all the everything that you need to be able to run this stuff from level 1 to 20 right now we'll be doing a play test in the new year. I will be building the point crawl environment and the dungeon delving mechanics for us to run that play test as a sort of 5e new age random system, like random world generator for us just to whip up random encounters and build a narrative out of while we have people essentially west marching through this environment on a week-by-week basis. The roster of players and characters could change, so we'll format the campaign from level 3 to 7 to accommodate that style of play, looking at like maybe a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th level, 5 levels, maybe 3 weeks on each level, so a 15-week stretch, a quarter worth of activity. Hopefully starting, we'll be building out the campaign on stream here in December and January, then looking to do a kickoff of the actual playtest campaign 1 night a week starting in February. So if you're interested in being a part of the playtest and you want to vote on which day it's going to be when I post it, anyone that's a Patreon at the $1 level or more on my Patreon will have a vote as to which day of the week it's going to be. And once we settle on the day, people that are members of my Patreon at $1 or more will have first rights of refusals to any chairs at that time of the playtesting. And if it turns out we have more people that are patrons than we have seats at the table for the day, then we'll just do a raffle and it'll be pulled from those people. If it comes up short, then whoever's a patron has a guaranteed seat at the table if they want it. And then we'll fill in the rest of the seat with, hopefully with just Discord allies and Twitter friends and volunteers that are willing to throw around some mana and beat up some monsters in a classic point crawl system, and just random dungeon delving. So there'll be an overarching plot line. We'll explain all that stuff when we actually get into the design of it. But here's our martial powers that we have listed. Here's our initial power curve. You can look at all this stuff in the read-only document. Literally, as I'm writing it here, you can tag along. Here's the martial power progression table. Martial, and you can see down here, martial points go towards how much barbarians, fighters, monks, rogues, and warlocks have at whatever listed level, at the listed level. Yeah, and then hybrid points are for paladins, rangers, and artificers. Power die, we've explained all these things, like power die is like a martial arts superiority inspiration die. The amount of powers that you can learn is determined by your combined level of channeling levels. Like you can combine Barbarian and Ranger, like 5-3, you'll be an 8th level channeler. So you'll have access to you can channel up to 2 mana. You'll have up to 9 powers that you can change every time you finish a long rest. 5 levels of Ranger will give you 10 points. 3 levels of Barbarian will give you 3 points. So your mana pool would have 13 points total. Barbarians get theirs back on a short rest, so you have 13 points per day, 3 of which you can get back every time you finish a short rest. All of your points back on a long rest. You'll have access to your first level of subclass as a Barbarian using the Channeling Rage feature. And then as a as a Ranger of 5th level, you'll have access to the Barbarian would only have access to first rank powers that you can learn, but as a Ranger, you can learn second rank powers, which means that all of the powers that you learn, you combine all your multi-class levels together. Barbarian 3 plus Paladin 5 equals combined Channeler 8, means that you'll have 9 powers total, of which your Ranger gives you access to second rank powers. So you can have up to 9 powers that are, any number of them can be second rank power. It's your 13 mana pool to spend as you please whenever you finish your short rest. You'll have access to all the perks and features of a Barbarian and a Ranger, of course, at 3rd and 5th level respectively. So it's a very fluid, easy system. As an 8th level channeler, you'll still only be using a D8, but as soon as you gain another level in a channeling class, you'll upgrade to a D8. You'll be able to channel 3 mana, but since your Ranger has only achieved a 2nd rank of power, you'll need, as an 8th level character, you'll still need to gain 1, 2, 3, 4 more levels of channeling of Ranger specifically to get to 9th level, to get the 3rd rank powers that you can learn. Your mana pool will continue to grow. The number of powers that you can learn will continue to grow, and the amount of mana you can dump into each power that you know can continue to rise with your combined channeling multi-class level. But what type, the rank of the powers from the list that you choose will further be restricted as a ranger at 5th level to only 1st and 2nd rank powers. So like in your strikes, like if there's like a 3rd rank strike that you're interested in, say debilitating strike, which takes away the target's ability to move, take actions, or opportunity attacks, like you can't have access to that because you only have access to 2nd rank powers. So like you'd be able to do restraining strikes and provoking strikes, life stealing strikes, a whole bunch of 2nd rank and 1st rank strikes. The 3rd rank and higher would not be available to you yet. So that's a real quick crash course on how the different levels fold together with each other and what the progression table basically means, which I think we've done an okay job spelling out how swapping powers and what each of these things mean overall. But we've been, over the past week and a half or so, we've been adding in a number of, we've been fleshing out the channeling features and refining them so that they're good alternatives. It's a good alternate magic system other than spellcasting for martial characters to have access to sustained and instant effects to modify themselves or the actions that they're taking, which is essentially what it is. Timely timer. We're on a 20-minute kicker. We're about 10 minutes in right now. We got at least another hour to play. So what I wanted to do is I want to continue refining these class features, and if we still have time at the end, we'll convert another subclass for monk. But for now, I really just want to lock down the language here because I was running into a bit of a brain glitch, including empowered strikes and brutal power. So I want to clean these things up, and I think I have a better way of wording this stuff. So I'm just going to basically be doing a lot of wordsmithing right now, and we'll see how things come together. If I can punch through all this wording stuff quickly, then we'll be able to just kick on out and get back to work on the monks. So let's start with the brutal power feature. At 10th level, you score a critical hit when you roll a 19 or 20 with a melee weapon attack. That's fine. When you score a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, you gain. We're gonna switch this language. Weapon attack. You can add 1 power die instead of additional weapon damage, instead of an additional weapon die, whichever is higher. Period. In addition, you can channel a 1st rank strike. You can channel any strike effect you know up to 1st rank without spending mana. And you can add additional and you can spend additional mana in your pool. Let's see if I'm wording that right. At 10th level, when you can score at 10th level, you score a critical hit when you roll a 19 or 20 with a melee weapon attack. When you score a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, you can add 1 power die instead of an additional weapon die, whichever is higher. In addition, you can channel any strike effect you know up to 1st rank without spending mana. Period. Mana in your pool can be combined with this. Mana in your pool can be spent to add additional power dice to the damage roll up to your max channel limit. Up to your max channel limit. That doesn't need to be in the parentheses. And you can channel the effects of any strike you know up to the total number of any strike you know up let's see, mana in your pool can be spent to add additional power dice to the damage roll up to your max channel limit. Let's see, how do I want to word this? Okay, so you're gaining a free point of mana when you crit. Essentially, you gain a free point of mana. I had it worded that you get temporary mana, but I wasn't liking that temporary mana language. If I can avoid it, I don't want to use it. So let's see. When you score a critical hit with a multi-weapon attack, you add 1 power. You can add 1 power die instead of an additional weapon die, whichever is higher. If you do, you can channel a first rank strike without spending mana. You can choose to spend additional mana to increase the max channel limit, the max rank, to increase the number of. You can choose to spend additional mana to increase the rank of strike channeled during the attack up to your max rank. At 13th level, you gain you can roll 2 power dice. You can add 2 power dice to your critical hit damage and channel cost. At 17th level, you score a critical hit when you roll an 18, 19, or 20. When you score a critical hit, you can add 3 power dice to your critical hit damage and channel a 3rd rank strike at no cost. There. I think that's a bit cleaner. Paths of Power. Empowered Strike. Beginning at 5th level, when you take the attack action and succeed with an attack roll, you can forgo your remaining attack to gain a point. You can forgo your remaining attack to add an additional point to add a power die of damage to the damage roll. And channel any strike power you know up to first rank. You can spend mana to add additional power. You can spend mana to channel a higher rank strike up to your max channel limit. That's a really clean way of saying that. For example, if a 9th level Barbarian hits with the first attack, you can choose to forego the remaining attack, channeling gaining 1 power die of damage and channeling a first rank power. For example, if a 9th level Barbarian hits with the first attack, you can choose to forego the remaining attack, gaining 1 power of damage die and channeling a first rank power. And a first rank strike. Two additional now third rank strike effect. And channel any third rank strike effect you know, period. So, for example, if a 9th level Barbarian hits with the first attack, you can choose to forego the remaining attack, channeling a first rank strike at no cost. Comma, rolling an additional power die of damage when you do, period. You can choose to burn up to 2 additional mana from your pool for a total of 3 power dice. You can choose to burn up to 2 additional mana from your pool to increase the rank of strike channeled up to 3rd rank. Hey, Alan. You can choose to burn up to 2 additional mana from your pool to increase the rank of strike channeled up to 3rd rank. There. And then we cleaned up brutal power. Brutal power can be combined with empowered strikes if your first attack scores a critical hit. Bam. So a 17th level character that scores a critical hit on the first attack could choose to forego their second attack as an empowered strike to gain 3 points of power dice damage added to your critical hit, plus the 4th die from the empowered strike, which gives you basically a 4th rank channel strike feature at no cost. Like, if you crit on your first attack at 17th level, you would be able to channel Banishing Strike with 4d10 extra damage at no cost, because it was a critical hit that you scored and you decided to forego your second attack to do so. If you instead wanted to keep your second attack, you'd still have the crit, you'd still be able to get the 3 dice of damage. You could channel a 3rd rank power, a 3rd rank strike at no cost, or you could chip in an extra damage die to make it a 4th rank power. Then you could still channel Banishing Strike if you wanted to. And in any of these cases, at 17th level, since your max rank of power is 5, you could choose to put 2 additional mana into it as a second attack, or if you use Empowered Strikes with the first attack, only 1 extra mana to get you to 5th rank for 5d10 extra damage dice, and still have the Banishing Strike on top of it. But that only costs you either 1 for 4th rank or 2 for 5th rank. And you have, at 17th level, 17 mana per short rest. So you could theoretically do a shitloads of high power strikes with all sorts of strike effects when you get into 17th level. But your 17th level, you should be banishing creatures to hell at that level when you're hitting things. That's how powerful your character is. Yeah, well, it only got changed in the way that we expressed it. It's still attempting to do the same thing. It's doing the same thing of when you hit, you can forgo your extra attacks, get free mana that you can channel as a strike, and that you could then combine with other mana. I'm just trying to find better ways of wording it so that it makes more sense. And I don't know if that makes more sense or not, honestly. So this is why I'm going to have to hire a mechanical editor to help make sure that I'm doing this good. But this is essentially where we're at right now. So beginning at 5th level, when you take the attack action and succeed with an attack roll, you can forgo your remaining attack to add 1 power die to the damage roll and channel any strike power you know up to 1st rank. You can spend additional mana to channel a higher rank strike up to your max channel limit. Adding an additional power die of damage for each mana spent. That should pretty much cover it. I should be able to copy this. You can spend additional mana to channel a higher ranked strike up to your max channel limit, adding an additional power die of damage for each mana spent. That, I think, is very simple language. I think that makes sense. When you score a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, you can add 1 power die instead of an additional weapon die, whichever is higher. If you do, and you can channel a 1st rank strike without spending mana. You can spend additional mana to channel a higher rank strike up to your max channel limit, adding an additional power die of damage for each mana spent. There. That, I think, is succinctly expressing what I am attempting here. So I get to pick up this language and scooch it over to the monk, the paladin, the ranger, and then we get to expand on it for the fighter. But the rogue, I was thinking, do I want to put empowered strikes as like an umbrella martial ability? Because this is only allowed for classes that have the extra attack as a class feature, not as a subclass feature. So spell sword dancer, spell dancer sword Anyway, I'll think like the Bard. Let's do the Bard of Valor. I think gets an extra attack, but that's a subclass feature, not an actual class feature. So it doesn't qualify. Like a rogue doesn't get access to empowered strikes like this, for instance. Oh yeah, we have to affect the rogue's language on sneak attack though. This does modify the sneak attack language. So let's see. What are we going? How are we going to do this? We can just pick this up, I think, and scoot it. Yeah, we can pick that up. Let's grab that and then drop down to... Hey! Yeah, thanks. Yes, swords. But you get my point. You get my point. Path of Berserker, all this shit's cool. Fighter. All right, we'll come back to you, buddy. We'll drop the text in here for now, but... here, but fighters get extra attacks, so we have to take that into account. Let's drop down past the fighter. Let's get into the monk. Monk has additional modifiers as well because they get a kicker effect at level 11. Oh yeah, we'll get to you, rogue. Monk, thank you. Beep. Oy, there's so much rebuild. Powered strikes, we'll drop that in for now. And then we'll go down to the Paladin and Ranger. Those should be easier to clean up. There it is. Put on the Ranger. We'll drop this in here, and then we'll start doing cleanup. Mark of Prey. When you take the attack action and succeed with a roll, you can forgo your remaining attack to add 1 power die to the damage roll and channel any strike power you know up to first rank. You can spend additional mana to channel a higher rank strike up to your max channel limit, adding an additional power die of damage for each mana spent. For example, if a 9th level ranger hits with the first attack, you can choose to forgo the remaining attack, channeling a first rank strike at no cost, rolling an additional power die of damage when you do. You can choose to burn up to 2 additional mana from your pool to increase the rank of strike channel up to 3rd rank. And cool. Cleaner language. Sup? Level 5. Okay, 5th level means 2nd level. 2nd rank powers. Can do a 5 dice strike power using only 2 mana. You're going to be the amount of mana that you can spend is limited to your maximum rank. So a 5th level paladin is going to be limited to 2nd rank powers. So you're going to get a free die of damage because it's a divine strike, period. And so that's going to be a free die, but only if you spend a point of mana as a paladin. You will get 2 dice instead of 1. So at 5th level, you can spend up to 2 mana, but that gets you 3 dice because you're doing a divine strike, which gives you a bonus power die of damage. If you then forgo your 2nd attack in that 5th, that's 4 dice of damage. But at 5th level, it's only a d6. So it wouldn't be 5 dice, it'd be only 4 dice. When you get to 9th level as a paladin, you can spend up to 3 mana, so it could be 1 die. You'll get 1 free die from the smite. You'll get 1 free die by foregoing an attack, and then you can put up to 3 mana in. But you have to spend at least 1 point to get any of it. So because the extra die comes from when you spend a point of mana to channel a strike power, you get an extra die of damage for free. and then you can forgo your second attack to get a second die for free. So you have a total of 3 mana spent, but you can only channel up to a 3rd rank power when you do so, because you're only 9th level, so you're not going to know a strike that's higher than 3rd rank. Like, you won't know Banishing Strike until 13th level at best. But any 3rd rank strike you could, and you'd be able to put 5 dice, and they'd all be d8s. So it would be 5d8 for only 3 mana. And a Paladin, of course, at 9th level has 18 mana, plus you could cash out all of your healing pool in chunks of 5 per mana. So it'd be an extra 9 mana that you can gain on top of it. You have actually a total of 27 mana that you could spend for 5d8 damage each strike at 3 mana per bite 9 times per day. Considering that the DMG considers that you should be having around, 8 encounters per day, around 24 rounds of combat per long rest. At 9th level, being mid-level, that means you're going to be able to have at least 1 full weight smite per encounter. But honestly, I would fetter it out 1 mana at a time. At 9th level, if you just spend 1 mana, that's going to be 3d8. You can do that bam, 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 every round. So you could easily get 24 mana worth of 3d8s cracked out at 9th level. Yeah. Still pretty cool. 1 die less. But then when you get to 19th level or 17th level, you're throwing d10s. You have 5 mana that you get to dump in. And you get the free point of mana, so that's 6 dice, and then you get the empowered strike for going your second attack. That's going to be a total of 7d10 that you can deal for only 1 attack if it's your first attack per round. And again, strikes are limited to 4th rank, so you'll be able to banish stuff, like a lot of stuff. And you'll have at 17th level. Well, let's just take it to 20th. You'll have 60 mana, and you can do that 12 times per day. So once or twice per combat, you can just dump in 5 mana. Or on average, you can basically do 3 mana per attack every round of the 20 some odd rounds of combat that you're expected to have in a normal day of combat in D&D. So yeah, pans out. It pans out. Let's drop this here to the mid-mark. Okay, so we're cleaning up language on the Ranger. So let's see what Death Mark is doing. While Mark of Prey is locked, you can score critical hit when you attack your prey with a roll of 18, 19, or 20. Additionally, you can add 1d12 to the attack and damage rolls you make, as well as intelligence, investigation, and wisdom, insight, perception, and survival checks you make against your prey. When you channel a strike power to damage your prey, your power die is a d12. So they'll have the Mark of Prey, 5 dice, which takes you to 6. No, it's the power dice for free, and then you can add in another 4 dice at 17th level or at 20th level here. So that's 5 dice, and then if you forgo your second attack with an empowered strike, that's 6 d12s that you can roll against your prey. And at this level, whenever you make an attack and you hit something, you can mark that target as your prey. So you'll have free exchange of your Mark of Prey being moved back and forth. But I mean, this is 20th level. The game's basically over at that point. So you can do stupid, insane high damage. But this damage is no greater than the damage that the Paladin can do with 7d10. This is 6d12, which caps at 6d12. That's 72 damage. Compared to the Paladin that's doing 7d10 as well. So, it's comparable. Let's see. Optional class feature, begin at 5th level, for example. Okay, good. Let's look at the Mark of Prey. 1st level, replaces Hunter Mark, blah, 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 blah. Starting at 1st level, where'd it go? Starting at, add 1 power die of damage. Let's see. Starting at first level, you gain 1 temporary point of mana that can be used to mark a creature. Oh yeah, that's important. Starting at first level, you gain 1 point of temporary mana that can be used to sustain Mark of Prey. To sustain. How do I want to word this? Put that in there. Let's see. First level replaces 100 marks. Starting at first level, you gain 1 point of temporary mana that can be used to sustain. That can be used to mark a creature. Let's stick with the language that we have. To mark a creature that you can see as your prey during your turn using a bonus action. There it is. During your turn using a bonus action. There it is. The mark can be sustained. Can be sustained. As a first rank, can be tapped or locked. Can be one temporary point of mana that can be used. The temporary mana can be tapped or locked to sustain Mark of Prey as a first rank sustained power. While sustained, you can use your bonus action to mark a different creature as your Mark of Prey. You can use your bonus action this way immediately when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, applying any additional effects gained by Mark of Prey to the creature you hit. You can use this feature once, regain it. Nope, this was the proper order as a bonus attack. As a bonus action. You gain advantage with attacks as well. You gain when you hit your prey with an attack, with a weapon attack, comma, add one power die to the damage roll and channel any strike power you know up to first rank. You can spend additional mana to channel a higher rank strike up to your max channel limit, adding an additional power die of damage for each mana spent. This can be combined with mana from your pool. Spend additional mana. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. The temporary mana, for example, if a 5th level ranger hits the marked prey, you can channel, you can add one point of mana from your pool to channel a second rank strike. Channel a second rank strike, dealing 2 power dice of damage. The temporary mana can be tapped or locked to sustain Mark of Prey as a first rank sustained power. While sustained, you can use a bonus action to mark a different creature as your prey. You can use your bonus action this way immediately when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, applying any additional effects gained by Mark of Prey to the creature you hit. You can use this feature once, regaining it and the point of temporary mana when you finish a short or long rest, or when you burn 1 point of mana to regain it sooner. Starting at 7th level as a ranger, when you lock... Starting at 7th level as a ranger, when you lock Mark of Prey, it can be sustained while you're unconscious and during a long rest. The prey can make a wisdom saving throw versus your channeling DC at the end of each 24 hours to end the effect. Starting at 13th level, when you lock Mark of Prey, you can mark a different creature as your prey as part of an attack without using a bonus action to do so. Additionally, you can score a critical hit when you hit your prey with a roll of 19 or 20. Optional class features: Empowered Strikes. Optional class feature: Mark of Prey can be combined with Empowered Strikes. Empowered Strikes. Deathmark. While Deathmark is locked, you can score a critical hit when you attack your prey with a roll of 18, 19, or 20. Additionally, you can add 1d12 to the attack and damage rolls you make, as well as blah, blah, blah. When you channel a strike power to damage your prey, your power die is d12. While Mark of Prey is locked, you can sustain. The only condition when Mark of Prey is locked, you can sustain this power how do I want to word this? Damn it. What I want to say is the only way this power can be dismissed without your permission is death. But that is not the right way to word this. While Mark of Prey is locked, while Mark of Prey is locked, the power can this is how to word it. While Mark of Prey is locked, it can only be disrupted if you die. Period. And you can score a critical hit when you attack your prey with a roll of 18, 19, or 20. Like normally, a power can be disrupted if it's dispelled, if you're knocked unconscious, if you die, and if you begin a long rest. You're dismissing the power when you begin your long rest. We already established at level 7 that the power isn't dismissed when you're unconscious. You take a long rest. And here at 20th level, only death will take it away from you. Or, of course, the hero, the target succeeding a saving throw. And there's probably better ways of wording it, but that's where we're at right now. So that's how it's worded. But okay, great. So that updates the Ranger. Yeah, the idea about being able to get free free power dice and then adding on your own pool. The free dice are limiting the free dice that you get count towards your max channel limit, and I'm not sure if I'm properly expressing that in these mechanics overall. And I'm not necessarily sure how I'm supposed to express that, but that is the intent. That if you're getting 2 free dice from, well, the power die doesn't count. That's just a freebie die in general. Let's just keep on keeping on as we is for right now. So nothing's broken yet. Starting at 2nd level, when you channel a strike power through a melee weapon attack, you roll 1 additional die of damage equal to your power die. The damage can be radiant instead of the type listed in the strike power's description. This extra die doesn't increase the rank of strike channeled. Maybe that's the only caveat that we need there. Maybe that does it. Maybe that does the job. Empowered strikes begin at 5th level. When you take the attack action and succeed with an attack roll, you can forgo your remaining attack to add one power die to the damage roll and channel any strike power you know up to 1st rank. You can spend additional mana to channel a higher rank strike up to your max channel limit, adding an additional power die of damage for each mana spent. For example, a 9th level Paladin hits with the 1st attack. You can choose to forego the remaining attack, channeling a 1st rank strike at no cost, rolling an additional power die damage when you do. You can choose to burn up to 2 additional mana from your pool to increase the rank of strike channeled up to 3rd rank. Empowered strikes can be combined with divine strike, gaining an additional power die of damage when you do. There. There, that feels smooth. Or protection, cleansing touch, with a power, kick ass. Cool, that's clean. That's all we needed there. Monk will be a little more complicated because of the stunning strike effect. Whirlwind attack, still fucking awesome. Beginning at 5th level, what does it say? Beginning at 5th level, when you take the attack action and succeed with an attack roll, you can forgo your remaining attack to gain a point of temporary mana. Ooh, this is different. You can use this temporary mana to channel the Stunning Strike class feature as an exploit. You can use it to channel a strike power. Temporary mana used to channel a strike power can be combined with mana in your pool up to your max channel limit. Any temporary mana not used during the attack is lost. For example, if a 5th level monk hits with the 1st attack, you can choose to forgo the remaining attack to gain a temporary point of mana to stun that you can use. Mana that you can use to stun the target without using any mana in your pool. Alternatively, you can burn 1 or 2 additional mana up to 2 additional mana. That's not right. Burn an additional mana in your pool to channel a strike and use the temporary mana to also channel a first rank strike and use the temporary mana to also stun the target. At 11th level, you can forgo your second attack to gain 2 points of temporary mana instead of 1. That's straightforward enough, I think. So at 11th level, when you get the 2 temporary mana, you can spend 1 point for stunning strike and the other point to channel strike power. When using martial power, stunning strike is a first rank exploit that can be channeled when you hit with a melee weapon attack, with or separately from any strike power channeled. So you could stun something and push it. You could stun something and knock it prone. You can stun something and provoke it. So you can stack the stun effect on top of something else. And anytime you're willing to forgo your second attack, stunning strike is free. Or you can layer on all 4 of your attacks and use stunning strike with each one of them costing a mana each. So up to you. But this is allowing you the flexibility of, man, I don't want to blow all my mana on stunning strike. There's so much cool stuff I want to actually do. Great. Then only save your stunning strikes for when you're using empowered strikes, empowered attacks. Is it called empowered attacks now, or is it called empowered strikes? Empowered strikes. There you go. Maybe we should call it empowered attacks. I think I already have it. Maybe empowered attack is already... Let's see what the exploit is called. Empowered. I think I have something called empowered attack already. Maybe I don't. Empowered synergy. I'm trying to, the amount of exceptions and caveats that are created for each class, I'm trying to keep them as simple as possible so they're digestible. Because this is basically exchanging action economy. In a lot of senses, is exchanging mana for action economy. So there's a lot of machination that goes into it. I think once you get the gist of it, you get all of it. And then you're just looking for the exceptions to the rules like you do with all other classes. Yeah, we can change that title to Empowered Attacks. I think that's going to be a better way of expressing this overall. Let's stay down here in our powers. Let's go back up here. Let's go down to Ranger. Empowered Attacks. I think that sounds more accurate. Nice. Empowered attacks. Beep, 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 beep. With empowered attacks. Bam, bam. Okay, got Ranger. Like the Ranger effectively has, while you have Mark of Prey active, you basically have unlimited first rank strikes. So however many attacks you make against a Mark of Prey equals how much free mana you're getting per day. So the Ranger doesn't have any mechanics that cheat in extra mana into the pool. The 40 that you, like at 20th level, you get to 2 per level. So at 40th level, like at 20th level, you got 40 mana. At first level, you have 2 mana. And there's nothing in the system here that lets the Ranger cheat in more mana. But as long as you're maintaining or locking Mark of Prey, again, you've got at least 1 free point of mana that you're always hitting with a strike power, unlimited. So it like the Paladin gets gets a free attack, gets a free power die of damage, but only if they're willing to spend a point of mana first. And of course, well, I mean, these guys get the empowered attacks, so they always have that free point of mana as well, but they never have to So with that and Mark of Prey, they can effectively at 5th level always get second rank strike against their Mark of Prey, which is for free. That's pretty fucking impressive. So they can afford to stack up a shitload of exploits for ramping up their ability checks, sustained effects for giving themselves combat or exploration or social auras, reactions, of course, to take advantage of opportunities during combat. I think the Mark of Prey combined with empowered strikes is going to do a lot of work for the Rangers. So I'm really hoping that some folks take an interest in picking that up during the playtest to be able to compare the performance of the have a lot of diversity in here to see how different classes at the lower levels are performing with each other. I'm really looking forward to that. At my home table, I've only got a ranger and a rogue, and the rogue is an arcane trickster that's blending in spells with powers, and the ranger is also blending in spells with powers. So it's about a half and half mix between the two of them. We had a paladin and we had a fighter, and we lost them over time. But right as the martial power system was coming in, we just lost them to attrition. You lose people over time. You start with 5 over the course of a couple of years. If you have 5, you'll end up with 3 if they're really stable. So it's just the numbers. And since we were so far into the campaign, it didn't make sense to recruit new people. You can't really recruit people in past 12th level in a 1 to 20 campaign. It's too inbred. It's too inside baseball at that point. The new guy is always going to feel like he's the outsider because he doesn't have any of the experience. So the best thing you could do is finish through the campaign and then start over and invite new people in. So that's one of the problems with a very long campaign. You have to have a stable table. Otherwise, the narrative falls apart. People aren't emotionally invested, and then you have to end up rebooting the campaign, which is one of the reasons why people have a hard time getting past 9th level in D&D, because they don't have a committed table of people that are going to show up no matter what, because this is their thing. They're competing against all this other stuff like video games or whatever it is that they got going on that's trying to pull up their attention. That'll say, this D&D thing, I just don't want to be social right now, so I'm just going to skip it. Or online where you're doing pickup games, there's no emotional culture there, so that's why your games fall apart. You have to have people that are committed to a long haul campaign with the bandwidth and endurance and social stability, social schedule to actually allow for that to be achieved. So these are things that people don't really think about a lot, but it's table dynamics. It's managing your table. It's actually really important. Improved Divine Strike. Power die of damage when you channel a Divine Strike. Now all melee weapon attacks roll additional damage equal to your power die. Roll additional damage equal to your power die. The damage can be radiant or the listed damage type of the weapon. See, even you're at 11th, you're automatically dealing the extra damage die, even if you're not smiting, but it doesn't count as a first rank strike. You still have to spend mana to get strike effects, unless you're using a combat mastery, which is the replacement of weapon masteries that are essentially modified weapons fighting styles. So, yeah, that's freaking choice. We'll look at that sooner than later, I'm sure, as well. Empowered attacks. Here we are. Yeah, empowered attacks can be combined with Divine Strike, rolling an additional power die of damage when you do. That's why I clipped that off. Now we're back to dope. Dope. God, at low levels, harnessing that divine power, 2 mana at 3rd level when you only have 6, that's a really good deal at low levels. That's a really, really good deal. Whew, man, not bad. If I don't say so myself. Let's kick up here and change this. My shadow, way of mercy. Way. I saw something weird. Huh. I guess I didn't. There. Empowered attacks. At 5th level, when you take the attack action, succeed an attack roll, you can forgo your remaining attack to add 1 power die of damage roll and channel any strike power you know up to 1st level. When you take the attack action and succeed with the attack roll, you forgo remaining attack to gain a point of temporary mana. Okay, I like this one better. Strike powers for remaining strike powers. Okay. And now we go back up to, and then Barbarian is where we started, so that's up to date. So now we get to go to the fighter and update its language to take into account the multiple attacks that they have at 11th and 20th. And then we'll go back down to the rogue and modify its cunning power. Fighter. There we go. Empowered attacks. And succeed with an attack roll, you can forgo your remaining attack to add 1 power die to the damage roll and channel any strike power you know up to 1st rank. You can spend additional mana to channel a higher rank strike up to your max channel limit, adding an additional a power die of damage for each mana spent. For example, a 9th level character, a 9th level fighter, hits with the first attack. You can choose to forgo the remaining attack, channeling a 1st rank strike at no cost, rolling an additional power die of damage when you do. You can choose to burn up to 2 additional mana from your pool to increase the rank of strike channeled up to 3rd rank. And then at 11th level, you can forgo 2 attacks gaining 2 forgo. How do I want to word this? To add 2 power dice to the damage roll and channel any strike power up to 2nd rank. At 20th level, you can forgo 3 attacks to add 3 power dice to the damage roll and channel a strike power up to 3rd rank. Let's go with the 15th level fighter. Hits with the first attack. You can choose to forgo the remaining 2 attacks. You can choose to burn up to 2 additional mana from your pool to increase the rank of the strike channeled up to 4th rank. There. Now, let's go down to our rogue. This is all working out really well. I'll have to look up empowered strikes just to do a sweep. Rogue. Let's change this from empowered sneak attacks. Let's change it to cunning power. Since cunning attack is going to be a thing, let's call this cunning power instead. So power over precision. Starting at 1st level, you can reduce your sneak attack dice to gain 1 point of temporary mana. You can reduce your sneak attack dice to regain 1 point of mana for each die sacrificed. This way, up to your total sneak attack dice. Up to your mana pool limit, period. When you finish a short or long rest, you can choose to regain the sacrificed sneak attack dice. When you finish, you regain much simpler. When you finish a short or long rest, you regain the sacrifice sneak attack dice. Period. There you go. Cunning power. At 6th level, you deal sneak attack damage. When you deal sneak attack damage, you can reduce your sneak attack damage by 3 dice to gain 1 temporary point of mana to spend on a strike power you know. At 11th level, you can reduce your sneak attack damage by 6 dice to gain 2 temporary points. And at 17th level, you can reduce your sneak attack damage by 9 dice to gain 3 temporary points. Mana in your pool can be spent with the temporary mana up to your max rank of power. To channel these strikes, to channel any strike you know. To channel a first 1 power die of damage. At 11th level, you can reduce your sneak attack damage by 6 dice to roll 2 power dice of damage, channeling a 2nd rank strike power. At 17th level, you can reduce your sneak attack damage by 9 dice to roll 3 power dice of damage, channeling a 3rd rank strike power. You can spend mana in your pool to increase the damage and rank of strike power channeled up to your max rank of up to your max channel limit. There. Easy peasy. So cunning power. So you want to use power over precision when you're not anticipating combat. Like if you're in town doing downtime activities that require like ability or group checks, or if like you're in exploration or in social encounters where you'll have the opportunity to use like a lot of ability checks or targeted exploits to manipulate interactions or exploration. If you're anticipating combat, then you don't want to burn down all of your sneak attacks through power and precision. Instead, you want to keep it up so that you'll have cunning power available to you. So whenever you get that sneak attack opportunity, you can instead weave in free strikes with it so it doesn't cost you any mana. That's how rogues cheat in mana. They don't have the empowered attack class feature, but when they have a sneak attack, again, at 5th level, you only have 3 sneak attack dice. So at 6th level, it'll burn down all 3d6 of your sneak attack dice. And at 6th level, in exchange, you're only getting 1d6 back. But you can channel any first rank strike powers that you know. And at 6th level, you can have up to 2nd rank power. You can add a point of mana to it to channel a 2nd rank power that you know for 2 sneak attack for 2d6 damage at 5th level. At 11th level, it's going to be a d8 that you're dealing, and at 17th level, it's a d10 that you're dealing. So it scales up. It scales up nicely, I think. I'm happy with these things. Those are all the revisions that I believe we needed to make to the document offhand. I'm going to quickly look up the word empowered strike. It appears apparently okay, that's already gone. Who are you? Barbarian. Oh, that's right. Empowered attacks. Rapid strike. The empowered attacks. Optional class feature. Brutal power can be combined with empowered attacks. Perfect. All right, cool. We did it. Nice. And I still have time to look at a monk. So, bonus activity. Let's get Monkey up in here, yo. I'm going to take a sip of water, bask in our own glory. It's the complicated things in life, you know? Let's go here. Let's go to Monk. Let's see. What are we looking at today? Don't need that up right now. Monkadunk. Monkadunk. Let's pull that down to there. We'll leave that there. Scroll down to the monk. Again, anyone can follow along with me by going into my list here, and it is continue here, and then you scroll down and playtest content, martial powers. Here you go. That's how you get to the document, so you can read along with us. And we are currently down here on page. Let's scroll down and find out where we're at. Around, those are oaths. So monks should be at the back end here. Here we go. Who are we on right now? Drinking Master, Way of the Astral Self. Ooh, Way of the Astral Self. Coming in at page, so if you're reading along with us, we're on page 32 of the document, if you care to look. No feature changes, huh? Okay. Well, that's a bold statement. Let's see if that remains true. We'll go to Way of the Astral Self. What do we have after this? We got Cobalt Soul is more garbage from whoever those guys are. Critical Role. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 after this Astral Self. 2 per session. So we should be done with this. Well, we'll be done with this before the month is over. That's for sure. Probably next week or 2. Let's see. 2 weeks. Probably, no. There's 6 more after this. That'll be 3 weeks. Or 3 sessions. And we're going to have a session on Tuesdays and Fridays. And then Tuesdays. So not next week. Before Christmas. Before Thanksgiving. We should be done right before Thanksgiving here in America. Which is the 23rd. I will not be streaming on the 23rd, Thursday. It's normally an Eberron night, but we shan't be here for Thanksgiving because love. Let's see. What does the Astral Self do? The Astral Self is translucent, embodiment, blah, blah, blah. Your mastery of Ki allows you to summon a portion of your Astral Self. As a bonus action, you can spend 1 Ki point to summon the arms of your Astral Self. When you do so, each creature of your choice that you can see within 10 feet of you must succeed a dexterity saving throw or take force damage equal to 2 rolls of your martial arts die. For 10 minutes, the spectral arms hover near your shoulders or surround your arms, your choice. You determine the arm's appearance and advantage early if you're incapacitated or die. While the spectral arms are present, you gain the following benefits. You can use your Wisdom modifier to place your in place of your Strength mod to begin strength checks. You can use your Channeling modifier, not just Wisdom. You can use your Spectral Arms to make unarmored attacks, and you make unarmored attacks. Is how you have to reach. Your reach for it is 5 feet greater than normal. The unarmored strikes you make with your arms can use your Channeling modifier. So yeah, we do need to update this. Okay, cool. I had no changes listed in the document here, but that's not true. We actually do need to modify probably all of them, and that's going to be okay. So copy there. We'll drop in here. There. 3rd rank. Your mastery of your mana allows you to summon a portion of your Astral Self. As a bonus action, you can spend 1 mana to summon the arms of your Astral Self. When you do so, each creature of your choice that you can see within 10 feet of you must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take force damage equal to 2 rolls of your martial arts die. And of course, we have the class feature already listed up there that you can use your martial arts die or your power die, whichever one is better, anytime you want as you gain levels. For 10 minutes... As a 1st rank sustained power, these spectral arms hover near your shoulders or surround your arms. You determine the arm's appearance, and they vanish. There you go. You can use your Channeling modifier. Unarmed strikes, greater range. You can use your Channeling ability modifier in place of your Strength or Dexterity modifier for the attack and damage rolls, and their damage type is Force. Easy peasy. It is an edit that we have to make, though. Arms of the Astral Self. It's a lot of text, my friend. Intoxicating Frenzy. What? Nice! Arms of the Astral Self. What's it called? Arms of the Astral Self. You notice it's a multi-pass. Visage of the Astral Self. You can summon the Visage of your Astral Self as a bonus action or as part of the bonus action you take to activate Arms of the Astral Self. You can spend 1 key point to summon this Visage. It vanishes early if you are incapacitated to die. The spectral... The bonus action is part of the bonus action you take to activate Arms of the Astral Self. You can spend 1 key point to summon this Visage for 10 minutes. Right, so we do need to reword this. Visage of the Astral Self. You can summon the Visage of the Astral Self as a bonus action or as part of the bonus action you take to activate Arms of the Astral Self. You can spend 1 mana. You can sustain this Visage. As a first rank power. Nice. Covers your face like a helmet or mask. You determine its appearance. While the spectral visage is present, you gain the following benefits. Astral sight. You can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 120 feet. Wisdom of the Spirit. You have advantage on wisdom, insight, and charisma checks. Word of the Spirit. You can, when you speak, you can direct your words to a creature of your choice that you can see within 60 feet of you, making it so only that creature can hear you. Alternatively, you can amplify your voice so that all creatures within 600 feet of you can hear you. I don't think I need... The feature is otherwise unchanged. How did that happen? Oh, because life happens. There. Because I can't just cut and paste the entire thing. That's against guild operation procedures. This will be 11th level, whatever. This ends up something of whatever, 11th level. And then we get to start adding in features. Or adding in our list of powers. That's going to be fun. That'll finish out our day for sure. Body of the Astral Self, 11th level. When you have both your astral arms and visage summoned, you can cause the body of your astral self to appear, no action required. This spectral body covers your physical form like a suit of armor, connecting with the arms and the visage to determine its appearance. While the spectral body is present, you gain the following benefits. While sustaining, okay, so we do need, while sustaining both your astral arms and visage. Features otherwise unchanged, I suspect is what I'm going to write. You gain the following benefits. Deflect energy, and you take acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, or thunder damage. You can use your reaction to deflect it. When you do so, the damage you take is reduced by D10 plus your channeling ability modifier. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a target with the arms of the astral self, you can deal extra damage to the target equal to your martial arts die. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a target, fuck that. That once per turn is bullshit. Yeah, fuck you. It's just going to be extra damage, period. You're spending you're sustaining 2 mana to do this. You're getting it for fucking free. And that's how you create value. Awakened Astral Self. You're connected to your Astral Self is complete, allowing you to unleash its full potential. As a bonus action, you can sustain 5 ki to summon the arms, visage, and body of your Astral Self and awaken it for 10 minutes. This awakening ends early if you're incapacitated or die. While your Astral Self is awakened, you gain the following benefits. Armor of the Spirit, an extra +2 to your armor class. Astral Barrage. Whenever you use the extra attack feature to attack twice, you can instead attack 3 times if all the attacks are made with your astral arms. I don't know if this is worth 5 ki to be sustained. It's 17th level, so your power curve goes up to 5, so they're right in charging 5 ki for a 17th level feature. The only problem is that it's, well, the extra attack is equivalent to haste, so you're basically permanizing haste on yourself. And haste is a third rank power, so it's we call it celerity, but it's the same thing here. Let's go take a look at it real quick. Let's go look at the sustain 3 celerity. Oh, it's only 2. Sustained power 1. Quick. Giant growth, castigation, attunement. Where are you, dude? Celerity, thank you. Yeah, 3. While sustaining this power, you gain the following benefits. Your movement speed doubles. You gain +2 armor class. You gain advantage on saving throws. And use bonus action to get attack dash action. Oh, it's a bonus action for attack. Okay, well, flurry of attacks. While sustaining this power, you can make a bonus action. No. Okay, maybe it is worth 3. +2 armor class. Attack action feature. Yeah, okay. Okay, we can do that. Yeah. You can sustain 5 mana to summon the arms, visage, and body of the astral self and awaken it. And awaken it. And awaken it while sustained, period. While the astral self is awakened, you gain the following benefits. Armor of Spirits. And again, the monk, when you lock a sustained power, it doesn't reduce your max channel limit. That's the special thing that the monk gets. And the Barbarian also has that unlocked power, as it were. While raging. So the monk can actually afford to lock all 5 mana to sustain Astral Awakening all day, if you wish, and still be able to channel 5 mana on strikes, exploits, reactions, maneuvers. You just won't be able to. You won't be able to sustain anything other than the Awakened Astral Self. But still, you're gaining an extra attack. That's pretty choice. I'm liking this. We can self, blah, 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 blah. Extra class feature, extra arms. There you go. Astral Barrage. Whenever you use the extra attack action, attack feature to attack twice, you can instead attack 3 times if all 3 of the attacks are made with your astral arms. You can alternatively, you can forego the 2 extra attacks to make an empowered attack gaining 2 power dice of damage, channeling, gaining 2 points of temporary mana instead of 1. Nice. That is going to lock it in. What's this one called? Awakened Astral Self. Fucking cool, guys. Oh my god, this class is pretty cool, man. Oh, and now we get the kit of powers that we get to add on. Holy crap. Let's see how that's going to turn out. It's going to be a bunch of astral phase, teleporty type stuff, I suspect. So let's get into it. Let's look at our kit of powers. How exciting. How exciting. Let's see. Woof, this is cool. Let's start at the top end and work our way down. So, Ghostwalker. While sustaining this power as a bonus action, including this round, if the power is channeled using a bonus action, you can become incorporeal. Any round you end within an object, you gain 1 level of exhaustion, and you are ejected from the space, returning to the last position you occupied or the nearest location to that space. So, Ghostwalker 3. Let's see. Unnatural resistance, maybe. Opportunist, quick. Mind sense. While sustaining this... No. Astral self, not psychic stuff. Auto-tune, trap sense, swift assessments, rogue stance, range skirmisher. Power armor and power shield are supernatural picks for this guy. Those conflict. Power armor and power shield sound like great ideas. 2. My gut's telling me that it shouldn't be more than 4. Astral Self, Astral Self, Awakening. I think it should be 4 mana, not 5. I want to leave space open for power armor and power shield. I just want it. Not a lot of classes it doesn't make sense for, but this one it does. So. Actually, let's put those at level 9. You won't actually be able to afford all of them until 13th level, like your Astral Visage, your Astral Arms, and then at 9th, when 11th clicks in, you get your Astral Body, and that's going to take 2 mana, so you can still fire up Power Armor or Power Shield if you wish. It feels just kind of like a non-bow, though. That's the problem with it. Let's see what else is out there. You get dire impact for free, basically. Blind Sense you get. Banishing Strike just makes sense because of the astral stuff, so let's add that in. Debilitating Strike. You already get Stunning Strike, so whatever. Intimidating Strike, Blinding Strike, Axiom Strike. Deal radiant damage, 1 mana, burn, and character glows with faint light, negating the effects of invisibility or concealment. Radiant Strike isn't bad. How full are we already here? We only need 6 more. Radiant Strike isn't horrible. Sure, why not? Radiant Strike. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Let's see. What kind of cool reactions? Defensive Barrier? That might make sense. Hexproof, right? A Revival. Ooh, Anchor. That's an astral teleporty thing. Anchor is a good one. Reaction, Anchor. Anchor. Reaction 3, comma. Anchor, as a reaction to a creature attempting to move, teleport, or shift planes. It takes 1 power die of damage per mana burned, and must succeed a charisma saving throw against your channeling DC, or it can't move, teleport, or shift planes until the beginning of their next turn. There you go. That's a good one. Redirect as a reaction to when a creature you can see hits another creature. Nah. Cursive. Nah. Parry, punish, opt. Opt as a reaction to failing an ability check. Try again. Nah. Interpose, downtrodden. Cursive Exposure as a reaction to a creature within 30 feet of you taking damage. If the creature is resistant to the damage, it can't benefit. Nah, that's not specifically. What are we looking for? 1, 2, 3, 4 now. We're in reactions. Let's see what we got here. Telekinetic. Ooh, Flicker Pounce. That's teleporty. You can teleport up to 30 feet to a space within 5 feet of a creature you can see and make a weapon attack against it. If the attack succeeds, you can choose to teleport back to your original position. If the attack fails, you don't teleport the second time. Flicker Pounce! Hell yeah. Maneuver 3. That's fucking choice. Now we're at second rank or less. Lift, shunt, regeneration, phase. You become incorporeal until the beginning of your next turn. You can move through other objects. What is this? Second rank? You can move through other objects. You instead end the turn. If you end your turn in a space occupied, there you go. Any attacks you make during phase deal force damage. So phase is a, what is that, maneuver 2? Yeah. And now we're down to 3. So let's see what we have at low-hanging fruit down here. Brand of Axiom. You force a creature you can see within 30 feet to make a wisdom saving throw. If they fail to save, you can sense if the creature is affected by any illusion. Nah. First rank. Are these feats we want to grab? Seasonal, so channeling, swift tools. When you channel a... subtle channeling. That's cool. That makes sense. When you channel a power, there's no visual evidence. You are the source of... power. There's always some sort of a tell that you're using magic, some sort of visual display. Especially if you're using color magic, it'll be the color of whatever the aura is of the mana that you're channeling. So you'll have those effects that are like a tell that give you away. But if you spend the extra point of mana, you can suppress that. Rain Strike, Resilient. We only need one more. Ooh, Commanding Presence. Nah. Ground Fighting Gymnast, Inquisitive, Master Burglar, Overrun. Maybe there's a feat or a damage type that we want. Oh, let's look at our combat masteries. Nah. I guess it comes down to feats, yo. Telepathy, telekinetic. Oh, mobile. That kind of feels astrally, right? Keen Mind? Let's look at Keen Mind real quick. This is literally the last thing we have to do when we're done. Keen Mind. And we'll check Mobile. Increase your intelligence score by 1. You don't get the half cap. You don't get the ASI when you take these things for free. You always know which way is north. You always know the number of hours left in a day. Nah. Let's go instead with Mobile. That might be our go-to. Mobile. Keep me moving. Beep, beep. You are exceptionally speedy and agile. You gain the following benefits. Your speed increases by 10 when you use the dash action. When you use the dash action, the difficult terrain doesn't cost you extra movement on that. On that turn. Thank you. When you make a melee attack against a creature, you don't provoke opportunity attack. Nice. Yeah, Mobile. That's what we're going with. Mobile. Feet. Hell yes, guys. Oh, that's freaking choice. That's the way of the Astral Self. This was awesome. What a killer build. Whew, man. So we're gonna be back doing this on Tuesday. We will convert the Way of the Drunken Master and revisit Way of the Four Elements. that's it for today. So like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. That's my first major milestone in growth of the channel. And so that'd be greatly appreciated if anyone that takes interest in that. We'll be back painting tomorrow morning for our book commission, our book cover commission that Andy Headley, our co-writer for the Eberron adventure that we do cartography for on Monday and Thursday nights, he hired me to make a book cover for an Underdark adventure that he has involving demons and Out of the Abyss adventure. I'll be back on Monday morning doing more Spelljammer combat and exploration page art for the book that I'll be publishing in January. And yeah, thanks for being here, guys. See you guys on the other side. Thanks a lot.